Hey everybody, welcome into the fourth episode of the Kansas Pregame High School Football Show. We're filming it right here at the Kansas Wesleyan University Student Activities Center on the campus of KWU. We talked about it last week a little bit. Kansas Wesleyan, a new sponsor for some of the things we do at Kansas Pregame. Beautiful facilities, beautiful athletic facilities, massive improvements to the university here on campus. Make sure that you check them out online and see what all they have to offer. As always, our show is made possible by several sponsors. Safe, seatbelts are for everyone. Make sure you buckle up before you're headed out to any of the ball games. Next Tech Wireless, helping to connect Kansas. Garden City Community College, a great community college down in southwest Kansas. Cunningham Cable and Telephone we added here recently as a sponsor, and also Sharp Performance. Sharp Performance hosted the first couple of episodes, and as you likely know, we do some events in the summer with Sharp Performance, and if you want to be elite trained, check out the opportunities at Sharp Performance. Interesting news, football classifications have been set for the next 2 years. 6-man is now fully sanctioned, and we'll have Acacia State Championship like the 2 8-man classes and all the 11-man classes. It'll be interesting to watch that all play out. And also there were some things done in that process that should make the football classifications a little more balanced, especially in the smaller classes, as we're moving a few of the teams down in classification and making them more balanced. So it'll be interesting to watch the next 2 years, the next 2-year cycle of Kansas high school football. Be sure and check out the Prep Power Index that we're updating weekly at kansaspregame.com. Prep Power Index started by former Salina Journal writer Tim Hostetter. He's handed that off to us to take on, and this is a data-driven rankings. It's still going to take several weeks for it to shape up. What it tries to get to is kind of a strength of schedule component that takes a look at the teams that schools are playing up and above their classification and down and below their classification. So be sure and check out Prep Power Index weekly and track the progress of the rankings as we go along. Also, working on the winter edition of Kansas Pregame, previewing high school basketball and wrestling in the state. Coaches, make sure you're getting your questionnaires in. If you're interested, if you're out there, you're potentially a sponsor. If you're interested in sponsoring, be sure and hit us up at kansaspregame@gmail.com. The winter edition, the only statewide high school basketball and wrestling preview magazine for Kansas. And now, without further ado, we'll head into episode 4 of the Kansas Pregame High School Football Show. And now let's check out the top plays from last week's action. Galena improved to 3-1 with this walk-off touchdown pass from Brett Sarwinski to Tyler Little in the back corner of the end zone against Parsons the other night. Sean Fry, the Parsons son, shared this clip with us. The Bulldogs are 3-0 against teams from Kansas, lost a season opener against a team from Oklahoma. They've got a huge game with unbeaten Caney Valley this week. What an exciting play to wrap up this game in a great video by Sean Fry. Peyton Schmidt completed this incredible pass to Xavier Holguin from Kinsley. Corey Dunlop shared this clip with us. The Coyotes are now 3-1 on the season, and Dunlop continues the building process, going 2-7 and 5-4 the past 2 seasons. Games with Skyline and Lacrosse the next 2 weeks should provide a good gauge of overall improvement for the Coyotes. Trey Richardson from Highland Park is one of the best players in Kansas, also one of the best long jumpers and 200 runners. He's a bright point for a Scots team that is in search of their first win since week 2 of 2014, but they are clearly improved this year. Against Emporia, Richardson had these 2 amazing kickoff returns, one for 99 yards and the other for 68 yards, though the 68-yarder got called back due to penalty. And check out this 99-yarder. He basically tightropes the goal line as he reverses field and rips off this beautiful long run for the Highland Park Scots. Jaden Akendo, a kid that we saw at Sharp Showcase events the last couple of summers, is a big physical defensive lineman for Olathe Northwest. He actually transferred from 8-man Maranatha Academy prior to his junior season last fall. He got this big strip sack last week over Shawnee Mission West to help his team to the 37-14 victory. Fourth-year coach Aaron Hafner has the Ravens 3-1 for the first time since 2015, a year in which they went 6-3 under Missouri High School Hall of Fame coaching legend Chip Sherman. Mulvane continues their improvement this season and are 2-2 with competitive losses to Wichita Collegiate and Andale to open the season. They should be favored in 3 of their final 4 games. They got this school record-breaking 95-yard touchdown pass from Mason Ellis to Hunter Sear in Friday's win over a much-improved Circle team. Thanks to Casey McDowell of Mulvane Sports for this clip. John Randall of Wichita Heights, a standout junior running back, comes from a family of talented running backs. He had this impressive run in the win over Wichita East the other night. He's one of the top-ranked prospects in the country in the class of 2023, and he shows why. Heights has great skill players and could be a postseason noisemaker in 5A. Thanks to Chris Lilly of Cake TV for the clip. Perennial Power Paola took heavy graduation losses from last fall, and they're 2-2 through 4 weeks. But senior Caden Ramey has emerged as a standout for the Panthers. In their win over Ottawa last week, he posted 9 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 2 QB hurries, and he also had 12 carries for 246 yards and 4 touchdowns, including this outstanding run. He's done a great job carrying the rushing load in the absence of fellow senior Giovanni Blocky, a cover boy who has missed much of the early part of the season to injury. Ramey has 54 carries for 643 yards and 8 touchdowns through the first 4 weeks. Nemaha Central improved to 3-1 with a 20-0 win over a surprising Atchison County squad that entered the game unbeaten and is putting together one of the best seasons in years. The Thunder got these impressive TD runs from Sam McWilliams and Gavin Kane in the win over the Tigers. And with their only loss, a Week 1 one-point loss to Holton, they still appear to be among the best in 2A. It does look like they may be without standout quarterback Zach Kramer going forward, but Gavin Kane played well in relief for the Thunder. Caney Valley transfer QB Brock Long is playing great football for the Sedan Blue Devils this year, and he just seems to put together big play after big play each week. He was able to hit Damian Hatton on this back foot fling to the end zone in last week's win. Sedan is looking to make a deep postseason run. Central Plains opened with a surprising loss to the previously mentioned Kinsley Coyotes, but has since reeled off 3 straight wins. Oiler QB Cole Lamache hit tight end Hunter Green on this touchdown pass in last week's win over Chase. Games with Victoria and Sylvan Lucas the next 2 weeks will tell Coach Chris Steiner a lot about his team. And finally, another team that took heavy graduation losses from possibly the second best team in 1A a year ago. Linden is 2-2 through 4 weeks, but still has QB Darian Massey, and he put together this nifty option keep and run for a touchdown against Northern Heights last week. And those are the top plays from Kansas high school football from week 4. to take a look at the rankings, the top 5 in each classification as we see it at Kansas Pregame. This segment's brought to you by Cunningham Telephone and Cable. Broadband internet is so important to the livelihood of our region. Everything from safety to work to education to health. Broadband internet is key to the economic development of the region. That's why we at Cunningham Telephone and Cable have invested so heavily in our networks to provide the best broadband service we can to North Central Kansas. Contact one of our local offices in Concordia, Belleville, Beloit, or Glen Elder today to take advantage of all the benefits broadband provides. Cunningham Telephone and Cable. Connect with us.
When we do our safe observations at our school, almost everybody is on their phone.
A lot of students at the school and even adults always need to reply to that text or email or phone call or whatever while they're driving.
Having everybody focus on the road would be probably one of the biggest challenges we have.
I'd like to see a lot more people pay attention to what's going on.
I always do my best to pay attention. I'm not on my phone. I don't think any text message is as important as your life.
I think a lot of people are on their phone while they're driving to kind of keep up a social image, when really, in the long run, it doesn't matter more than your life or the life of somebody else.
All right, let's take a look at a few of the top performers from week 4 of the Kansas high school football season. Terrell Elliott, a defensive lineman from Garden City, had a big game against Hayes the other night in a 27-21 win for the Buffs. Elliott and his teammates on defense were able to slow down Clemson commit Jaron Canick and standout running back Roy Maroney, holding them to season lows in rushing. Elliott has offers from Army and Air Force. His brother DeMarcus currently plays for the University of Indiana, and his father James played for Oklahoma State. Both of them also played at Garden City Community College, and that's an option for Terrell if he chooses to as well. Garden City's defense includes Saul Perez at the nose guard, Xavier Soriano at the end, Oscar Yanez at defensive tackle, Joe Bellows at linebacker, Sergio Garcia at linebacker, and Cooper Ramsey at strong safety up there in that interior 7 that did such a good job against Hayes the other night. Axtell beat Hanover in one of the best games of the week, and they may be the best team in 8-man too. Quarterback Isaac Detweiler and a group of strong underclassmen could be setting themselves up for a special 2-year run. Detweiler had a couple of nice touchdown passes to Brandon Schmelzel and Eli Brocksterman. He also made 2 interceptions in the game. Doing the hard work up front for the Eagles is Owen Strathman at guard, Grant Bussing at center, and Sawyer Dieters at guard. Keep an eye on the Axtell Eagles the rest of the way. Shawnee Heights has lost 3 close games to start the season. They have a 7-point loss to Leavenworth, a double OT 1-point loss to Bonner Springs, and a 3-point loss to Lansing. But they got a big win over KC Schlegel the other night, and Jaron Sanders had 178 yards rushing on 15 carries with 5 touchdowns. He's now up to 418 yards with 6 TDs on the season. Up front blocking for Sanders are Gavin Zuperku, Oren Busenetz, Garrett Peary, Alex McCarty, and Riken Carver. Like to give those shout outs to the offensive linemen. Shawnee Heights got a big game with Baser Linwood this week. Conway Springs has started the year 3-1. They had a tough season opening loss to Garden Plain, a 2A rival, 14-7. Then they got a good win over a much improved Whitewater team in week 2. And now they've rolled their way to 3-1, and they're again looking to be one of the best teams in 1A. Their quarterback, Isaac Billups, had a big night and a win over Ellenwood the other night, going 6 of 8 with 116 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, added 8 carries and 85 yards rushing and 2 more scores. And Billups runs behind tight ends Lance Pauley and Patrick Freeze, guards Jacob Almond and Ethan Perkins, tackles Ian Solomon and Colton Wolken, and center Zane Zolgaman. And those are a few of the top performers from week 4 of Kansas high school football.
Here, I push my comfort zone to discover what I can truly do.
Here, I'll collaborate and be challenged the same as a 4-year school.
Here, I can make new friends and make a difference.
Here, I take my first step towards a degree without taking 2 steps back financially.
Here, I'm more than part of a team.
A class.
A group.
Or a campus.
I'm home.
Come home to Garden City Community College, because from here, you can go anywhere. Enroll today.
Okay, that's it for episode 4 of the Kansas Pregame High School Football Show. I hope you all enjoyed this. I'm having a lot of fun doing it, enjoying partnering with Salina Media Connection to put this all together weekly. Really appreciate the efforts of Paul Kirkwood on the editing and all the people that are submitting clips. I mean, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for these various news organizations and coaches and different entities that are out there sharing clips with us. Make sure you keep sending that information in and those clips in. We're going to take a week off next week, and I've got to get to work on the winter edition. Coaches, again, make sure that you have those questionnaires. You're getting those questionnaires back into us, and sponsors. Make sure and get back to us at kansaspregame@gmail.com. Let us know if you have any changes to ads. If you're an existing customer, if you'd like to get on board, let us know so we can give you some information about being a sponsor and having copies available at your location. A big thank you again to Kansas Wesleyan for being a sponsor of the Kansas Pregame High School Football Show and hosting us on a weekly basis. Also, Mammoth Sports Construction, a great sponsor of everything that's going on around Kansas high schools, putting in a lot of new turf fields around the state, and they just do great work, and they're a great organization. We'll see you back again in a couple of weeks, and thanks for checking out the Kansas Pregame High School Football Show.